All right, welcome to Awaken Your Spirit with Bridget Harrington. Today I have with me is Stephanie Krebs. I asked her on the show today to basically just tell her story because she's inspired me in so many different ways and so many different people. Um, yeah, I've watched you all along your journey, and it's just incredible to me what you've created. She's a holistic practitioner who owns her own practice. She has created this following on Facebook, Instagram of 22,000 plus followers. She's also a Young Living Platinum, which I love, Young Living, and a life coach, health and wellness. So basically, I mean, you do it all. And I always watch your little clips and videos, and they help me so much. I bring them into my life and put them into practice. And I can honestly say, like, we got to listen to you. So you want to introduce yourself?
Thank you. You're such a sweetheart.
Mm-hmm.
You just introduced me. I'm actually currently going back to school for a PhD in holistic medicine and healing and nutrition, and then a doctorate to be an ND. So I'm trying to hash that one out right now. I'm a mommy of 3 kiddos under 9.
Mm-hmm.
Live in the country, and yeah, I mean, I don't know what else you kind of, I mean,
yeah.
my career and my life are the same.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that I really pride myself on. So whether or not you're coming here to my practice or, you know, the Young Living or whatever else, it's like, it's who I am. It's
Right.
not like a job. It's just literally who I am.
Mm-hmm.
So, and once I realized that, things just came way faster, you know, and that really tapped like what you are focusing on here. So
right. So what exactly would you say triggered that big aha moment where you realized like you were going to change courses and go on more of a spiritual holistic path and incorporate it in your career?
So I actually have always wanted to be a teacher. I knew that I wanted to be there for people. I was raised in a basic Christian family who just lived, you know, we weren't into health, we weren't not into health, and literally only wanted to be a teacher. I knew I wanted to teach people. I had so much compassion for history.
Mm.
So I actually went to school and like sports and just like movement and taking good care of myself. I started weightlifting when I was in 7th grade. Yeah, just like,
One second, Steph. My alarm's going off. I'm so sorry.
no, you're fine.
It's gonna get loud here. All right, we're
No, it's fine. So I've always like known that things are good for me. You know, I was extremely intuitive my whole life, but didn't know what that meant. I didn't understand how I was so sensitive to people and how I had really high anxiety and all those things. And when I went to college, I studied history. I have a master's in history and psychology, military science. I joined the military, actually enlisted in 2005. 2006. No, it was 2006, right in that January. And everything was I loved everything. I loved school. I loved learning. But I always felt like I was kind of like missing things. And then when I went and got my master's to be a teacher, I love that. I love the learning. I actually have special ed as well I have adolescents and special ed. So I loved all that stuff, but it was interesting because I felt like I was missing something. Even though I loved being in the school system, I loved teaching people. I loved being there for people. When I was in the military, I did briefings in front of staff, and I loved that. But when I was 20 years old, I got extremely sick. I started to lose function of my joints and my feet and my muscles. I was put in a wheelchair for a while. I was eventually discharged from the military after a couple of years. But I had really bad digestive issues. My body was like failing me really bad. And when I got discharged, my parents sought out natural means to help me because no matter how many meds, how many things, they couldn't find any answers. And that's where I found my kit, which is what this is. This is my holistic kit. So a complex homeopathic practitioner, basically. So it's frequency, and
Right.
talking to the body. It's amazing. And that stuff was my first awareness to energy work. And oddly enough, I was in my student teaching for my master's, and I opened this practice up because I had finally been like, well, I figured I could do both. But when I was in the school system, I didn't like restriction. I didn't like being dictated on what I would say. And I didn't feel, I'm not anything but teachers, but I didn't feel like I could be compassionate about what I wanted to teach. And
Right.
I was really good about setting up things, but I realized that teaching for me was teaching about how to learn about your body.
Mm-hmm.
And you say like, I inspire you, which is amazing. You're such a sweetheart.
Mm-hmm.
But majority of the stuff that I talk about are the things I had to heal myself.
Mm-hmm.
Almost all of it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still progressing, but it's like the biggest life lessons that I teach people are things that I had to figure out and push through. So that's where I basically got here. So it's been almost 11 years with this practice. I got the life coaching probably 6 years ago. And let's see, I was attuned to Reiki master twice. I like to learn. I like to learn from people. So 5 years ago. Yeah, there's so many things.
So what exactly, so if I came to you, because I've never, been a client of yours, but if I came to you, what exactly are you providing? I think I have a little understanding, but
I can show you.
Okay.
So this is so if you were to do like my basic one, which is called the total body analysis. So I muscle test you. I use, a lot of people will do like the arm thing up and down. I actually just test with my fingers for positive, negative. And what I'm doing is I'm testing your energy in your subconscious mind because it knows everything and asking it what it needs. So everything is made up of frequencies. And so these drawers are literally every single part of the body, every single body part. So for example, like these are your eyes. All the way here to here is everything that makes up your eyes. So if there's something wrong with your eyes, I'm not only gonna be like, oh, your eyes are off, I actually know what part of the eyes are off. So I have that detail for every single system of the body. So I would evaluate what you have off, and then the rest of the drawers are what causes the problem. So we're finding the direct location for your brain to target, and we're going past the symptoms because symptoms are just trying to get your body to understand what's going on. These are all the bacterias, all the funguses, all the heavy metals, tumors and growths, all the parasites, all the viruses, and then I have vials back here that are just like other things to fill in, DNA, all those things, genetics. All these are all the systems, all the things that make your body whole, like aminos, vitamins, minerals. I have all the allergens in this one. And then we always work on stress, which is back here. Because if you don't release the emotional stuff out of your body's not going to fully heal. So it's all incorporated. So then I would I compile all those, and I would copy it into here.
Like a remedy?
Yep, I'd copy it into here. And then, so what it is I combine all the frequencies that your body needs in order to fix itself or to remove the things. And then this is basically like a brainwave for your brain. It tells it where to go, how to get it out, and what it is. So it's not detoxing, it's not cleansing, it's not actually any of those things. It's literally just removal. It's like normal body process removal. So it's the most natural way to actually help your body to understand what's going on. So when I was sick, I actually have 4 diagnoses, and none of those are apparent anymore. Like they're completely gone. So it's been 14 years since I got those diagnoses, and it's, with most people, a diagnosis will never leave you.
Right.
But the idea is that if you actually allow yourself to heal, and you have to go through the healing journeys, and they're not easy, emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually, all of those things, you can achieve what you're looking for. You just have to know that and understand that, and not let the diagnosis or what they're thinking own you. In me, it's like, okay, you tell me I have celiacs. Okay, so now I know that my belly's, inflamed. I'm too acidic, and there's something probably in there like parasites and heavy metals. Remove those things and just know, like, the diagnosis was to treat that, was to say what's going on, but that is a symptom. Any diagnosis is a symptom. You just have to figure out what's causing it. And that is my, I talk about teaching, like that's my main thing with people. I want to help people to like understand the body, because for some reason those just natural things with the body, the holistic approaches and understanding what the body does isn't taught. It's not taught at all.
It's lost.
It is, and it's so silly because that only enables us to have to rely on other people.
Mm,
And
exactly.
that's how are you going to self-heal yourself, or at least be aware of what you need if you don't even know what to look for?
Right.
Oh, and then we have people that have high anxiety and all those concerns. And so, like, of course, your anxiety is high because your intuition is telling you you should be fixing this. You shouldn't be doing something else.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have those tools and resources to activate that awareness to
Mm-hmm.
do those things.
Right. Yeah.
That that's the main reason why I actually show up every day, besides helping people. But that, and what got me into Young Living was, as a naturopath, people tend to go to a lot of supplements. I would rather do the frequencies because you can't always guarantee with the supplements. I can't always guarantee someone's going to take this, but you have better odds because it's very direct. But I had a lot of problems in the market with finding pure supplements, even though it says non-GMO, natural, and all those things. And it was very frustrating to me. People spend so much money on supplements
Yeah.
and then test it out for them, and it's a bad quality. So Young Living is the only company that I've actually found that every single time is right.
Mm.
Every single time is pure, and that blows my mind because why are they other companies not doing it? It's amazing. We grow our own stuff and use the original species. So like with me and you're very similar. The intention of everything means everything. So like other companies are out there just making a profit. They know that it's popular, so that's what they're selling. Young Living literally started because they wanted to. Their heart is this. His heart was the same as mine. I just want to help people. I want people to know how to help their body. I want people to have awareness. I want people to level up and be, the best themselves. Plus, help themselves and be able to take care of themselves in their home the best they can.
Right.
And that's the intention with every single thing they make. Plus they make it pure. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So I link that with this, and my biggest thing was I like people coming in for remedies. Sometimes you just really have to hash out some of those layers in order to feel good about yourself. But I want you to be able to do stuff in the home. I don't want you to have to come into me every single 6 weeks forever. I want you to be able to take your health into your own hands, and Young Living was that bridge for me. And I can easily recommend that to people without having to worry. But it allows you to start taking things in your hands once you're good with me, and not have to rely on me.
Right. Yeah. So when I was introduced to Young Living, so I feel like my life has gone in like, waves of awakening, like a little
Oh,
subtle
yeah.
awakening, right? And like just getting more conscious is what I feel like. And that was a time in my life when I was introduced to Young Living, like where I had another awakening, right? It was like, holy cow, like how have we missed this? Like they're plants, right? And it's like taking us back to our roots and where our ancestors, like how they healed. And yeah, and people think it's all, woo woo and not real. And it's like blows my mind. So whenever I first was introduced to them, I had the same thinking though.
Yeah.
Before I used them, I thought, I don't really know what these do, or I thought they just smell good, right? Like
Right.
oils smell good. That's what I thought. But no, they do so much more, like physically help you right away. And so I fell in love with Young Living.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I still take all of their supplements every day. And I feel like they really have helped me in my awakening and my spiritual path and also my health and wellness. Like I use a lot of different supplements, but yeah. So there's also another thing that I just started. It's called a Sia, and I don't know if you ever heard of it, but oh my gosh. So that's why I'm like starting this channel to really kind of like get out there. My phone is ringing. I'm sorry. All these distractions, but so ASEA is like a cell signaling supplement. I have to show you more information about it
Yeah.
because you would think it's so cool. Basically it just kind of lights up all the cells in your body. It's redox. Have you ever heard of redox?
No, I'll have to look it up.
It's basically what's already in our cells, and as we hit puberty and get older, we start to lose that. And they have tweaked the molecules and been able to put it in a bottle. And I've been taking that, and I feel like I'm on another level of, awakening and also becoming more conscious and aware and just present. And I don't know, there's just so many little things that have helped me along my journey. And
Yeah.
Living is definitely one of them.
That's what it's about, though. It's amazing too, because what people don't understand is if you're constantly putting toxins in your body, you constantly have toxins around you, even your thoughts and stuff, your intuition quiets. And the more you remove those things, the more you are more natural and at least try your best, the more your intuition's going to talk to you and the louder it's going to be.
Mhm.
Because we can't see, and we have, and I know that you can actually reciprocate this, but even though my life is, life is always going to be stressful, but my anxiety is way different than it was before. And I kind of feel like I could potentially be going through more chaos now than I was before, but it's like, because you're allowing your intuition to shine, your body's not screaming at you. And that's a lot of the part of what anxiety is. People don't understand your gut health dictates your anxiety. Where you're applying dictates your anxiety. And once you really figure those things out, and I tell people this all the time, we can't control outside of our home. We can't control what's in the air. We can't control anything we come across. But in your home, you can make that the safest vessel you can possibly have. Like, our house has 0 chemicals, 0 toxins. I really monitor our foods the best we can. And so when you're in your house, you're the least exposed to things. So your cup of like toxins and all those triggers are less full. And then when you go outside, you're adding to that, but it's not where it's going to be overwhelming your body, and your body can process it. The average person literally spends their entire day trying to process and detox because it's so full. And then there's not going to be any nourishment to the body. And that's what people don't understand is you can actually really influence that. And that's like part of living.
Right. Would you do you have any like good tips on what we could do to influence that and to make little changes, small changes? I know that's one thing that you always talk about. Those are most important, making those little changes throughout your day.
Yeah.
For
Well, the biggest thing is, one, wake up and do not go on your phone. Wake up, smile, do something off your phone, whatever it is. Don't have your phone on you, even for a couple minutes. Close your eyes, smile, visualize how good the day is going to go, and that will imprint and make that so much better. The last 5 minutes before you go to sleep, whatever you're thinking about is what your subconscious mind actually processes your entire night. So just be happy. Think of a good memory, think of something, a goal, or just something, because your brain works on that the entire night. And those things in itself will impact you, but gaining those small confidence of things, you can't fix everything at once. And what the awakening really truly is, the foundation of it is you realize that you have power. It's literally what it is. I can remember the first time I actually realized I had power over my mind. 80% of what you think is how you feel, what you attract, and everything. 80%, that's almost all of it. And I constantly went for runs, and I constantly kept on failing in my mind and not being able to continue. But my body would cramp up. My head would tell me, you have to stop. I would get pains. I would pull muscles, all these things. And then I realized, like, my body was just creating that because it didn't want to run, even though I wanted to run. But it's like, no, we're out of our comfort zone. We're not running. I still to this day remember that one day I got all the way to the big hill. It was a long run, and I finished it, and I completely owned the entire run. I just bawled my eyes out, and I was like, oh my gosh, just because I believed I could really do this, I just did this. And nothing broke, nothing went into panic. And then from then on, it like changed my perspective. And it sounds so simple, but it was like, you literally control everything. So the same, like, if you're sick and you're like going through all the symptoms you're about to get, it's like, no, I'm not going to be sick. Visualize your body being healthy instead of sick, and like control that. And that's the amazing thing. I was talking about this with somebody yesterday about how it's not arrogant to know you have power. I personally, I could step on my toes right here, but I personally believe that, like, our creator gave us all the power because he created us, he or she, whoever you live in, created us and wanted us to have abilities. Why wouldn't they? So we are supposed to have these things and hone on them and actually live. And you're supposed to live within your reality and not other people. And that's, and there's so much power when you actually realize Everybody's in their own reality. You're in your own reality. You can control yours. You just have to believe it. So everything in this life is just believing that you have abilities to do things, which is, it sounds so simple. It's so hard. My biggest one, and this goes to the oils. What most of us struggle is just having that little ray of confidence. And it's whether or not it's a diet change, or going and doing yoga consistently, or exercising, or just thinking better about yourself. There has to be this little step that allows you to be like, wow, I did that. And that's the one I use the Valor, and that's what got me into living. Is this oil literally changed my perspective of myself. I didn't have the power and understanding how to do that. I didn't know how to have more confidence in myself. I didn't know how to stop breaking out in hives every time I talked to somebody. I didn't know how to not have a panic attack. So
Yeah.
I'm an insane introvert.
Really?
But not, yeah. No one believes me.
Wow.
But I really am. And the big thing is, like, Valor helped me to be able to be I don't know, apparently an extrovert, but I'm so, but when you smell an oil, and it has to be pure, that's why we do oil living. When you smell anything, it activates a synapse in your brain that activates memory and emotion. So, like, this one is like courage, confidence, and emotional balance. If you smell this every single day, you're activating courage, confidence, and emotional balance. And that goes through all your body, all your DNA. Imagine if you did that every single day for 30 days. What habit do you activate in the morning if you do that every single morning? So even if you don't have this oil after 30 days, you're going to wake up, if you did it every morning when you woke up, your body would instantly actually activate those because you just trained it to do so.
Right. Yes. Oh my gosh.
Like, we overthink health. We overthink mindset. But the power in just having a little bit more confidence in yourself is what most people just need. They just need that little touch. So like me, it would be like, get an oil like Valor and and just taking little baby steps. The all or nothing thing that most people do is horrendous.
Right.
It's a complete block. Block. Every single day is going to be a challenge, no matter what you believe, no matter how awesome you're doing, no matter how bad you're doing. Every day is going to have a challenge for you. And you have to take every moment at a time and shift that every moment at a time. It takes you 90 seconds to process something and to consume it into a memory and an emotion and a trauma. So if you have something bad happen to you, just be like, you know what? No, I'm not allowing this to take care of me and own my day. I'm going to shift that, let it go, and move on. And just understand that power of those shifts. You can do everything. You can do anything.
Yes. Oh my God, that's great stuff. Thank you. I'm thinking, like, when I first, I did, I wasn't really good for a long time. I was really sick, living in really low vibration of addiction, trauma. And I had this, like, calling in my heart from my intuition. And, I've heard my intuition my whole life, but it's like I don't listen, right? I never listened. And it told me to do yoga. And I had no idea what yoga was, right? Like, I didn't know. But at the time, I had the intention of getting better and wanting to do better. And so I went, I listened, and I started going. And so I just started going and going and going. And I built a new habit in my body. And that's when I first realized, like, holy shit, like, this is a program. Yoga is also a new program that I'm running, right? Just like you said with the Valor, like, do it every day for 30 days. Like, I started running a new program, yoga, and I also started moving my body. And I also started to gain control over my body using my mind for the first time. I had no idea, like you said, that we actually have the power. Like, our mind actually has a power over our body, and we can change that. So that was my first experience. Like, holy shit, there's something else going on here. Like, I have programmed my body, and that's what I teach in my classes. During Shavasana, I make it very clear to my students that there's 2 minutes of complete stillness, because you are teaching your body to listen to what your mind is telling it. And your mind, you need to tell your body to be still and avoid all other movements, like the little eye twitch or scratching yourself, or like moving your hair, moving your feet. It's hard, right? You see half the room just moving around or whatever, and they don't even know, they're unconscious. But the other half are in pure stillness, because they're actually listening. And
Mhm.
that's the little things that I have done that have helped me dramatically, to realize that I have that power in my mind to control my body and also my life. And that's also why I'm doing this channel, and
Yeah,
because I'm stepping out of my comfort zone.
I'm proud of
And
you.
yeah.
Mhm.
And I'm just taking it one step at a time and just trying to, do the next thing that my intuition has been, you know, screaming at me to do for a long time. So,
Yeah. It's so
yeah,
important too, and it makes me so sad because if we could just sit there and realize these things from the beginning,
right.
you know, why do we spend our entire life combating that we are that person, and
Mhm.
it's just, but I also believe, I really do believe that we are, if you're choosing to see this, but we are in an age where awakeness is more common. And you have to just believe that. Like, people are coming here all the time, oh, the world's horrible. And I'm like, well, that's your perspective. You know,
Mm.
yes, I
Mhm.
understand things are going around and I'm not going to be oblivious to that. But I'm also just understanding that that might be going on. But I believe that the people that are more naturally minded have a way better force and a way stronger force than the things that are negative. And I really think that we're in a center of this world where, even though there is a lot of negative things, I don't believe they have power over us. I really don't.
Mhm.
Um,
Mm.
but you have to also, think about that. And I tell my clients all the time too, if you're worried about something, stop thinking about it, because you're putting power to it.
Mhm.
You're putting
Mhm.
power to that. And that brings me to the one thing that too, it's really helpful. And I had to really adjust during my different levels of awakening is the way I talk to myself. And again, like, we have to let go of that, like, arrogant selfishness, whatever perspective, because we were created and we're meant to love ourselves. And that's not a selfish thing. It's not an arrogant thing. I mean, it can be, but you have to gauge that. But to look in the mirror and say I love you, and actually be able to lock eyes with yourself. If you look away, you don't believe this, by the way,
Okay.
is a huge deal. And I worked on that every single day. I'd be like, I love you. And it surprised me because I would look away.
Mm.
And I'm like, if you don't believe it for yourself, how do you really put out love for others? And that's the thing that got me as, like, a mom. I was working so hard on myself, but I was still talking negative to myself. I was still thinking negative things to myself. I was still really hard on myself. And then I'm not being as good as I am for other people.
Right.
And then
Mhm.
once you just shift, so it's like conscious language. Once you start realizing that all the negative things you say to your body, by the way, your body believes,
Right.
start so whenever you think something that's negative about anything, really, you just say cancel that. When you say cancel that, it doesn't store in your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind stores everything, every single second, every noise, every smell, everything. So your conscious mind and the things that you're saying, when you actually say it, think it, it stores it.
Right.
And by the way, negative self-talk, negative thoughts are all habits, by the way.
Right.
They're all habits. So every time I thought something bad or said something bad or caught myself saying something about myself, I'd say cancel that out loud or in my head. And I noticed over time I wasn't saying the things as much. I mean, I still do, but it's not as bad as it used to. And magically I feel better. I,
Mhm.
I feel like I look better. I actually have better health. And it really is an interesting perspective, because I believe that most of the time we do it to ourselves. You know?
Yes. Yeah, I can agree with that 100%. That is why I'm showing up here, first of all, and also other things that I would like to create is
Mhm.
because I've realized that I'm in a game with myself. I'm in a battle with myself. Like, how much further can I take myself in this life? How
So
much
far.
courage can I bring? And how many
Mhm.
fears can I go through and step up and level up? Because it's about me and me. It's you and
Mhm.
you, really, the
Mhm.
battle. And so yeah, those things have also really, really helped me. As cliche and simple as they sound, as like affirmations in the mirror, whatever. I
Mhm.
mean, it changes the
Mhm.
way you think. And of course, I still have, my negative sides and my negative
Yeah.
parts of me, but I can tell you that I have a lot more positive Bridgets inside
Which
myself
is
now.
Which is, yes, we have to be realistic, but yes, if you overpower the positive, then you're winning,
Mhm.
and also when you understand the perspective, oh, I'm thinking negative, and you can shift it instead of just deeper, 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 deeper. I mean, I'm a Scorpio. I can get as deep as possible. I can actually dig my hole, jump in it, and dig it deeper. And but I can be now just be like, no, let's stop doing that. Like, and I'll close my eyes. I'll visualize raising my vibration, by the way, because you can do that. Anybody can do that. I literally just sit there and I raise it up with like a gold bright light. And I'm just like, we're recharging ourselves. Let's go. We got this. And just starting again.
It's beautiful. Is there any other last minute message or tips you want to share with us before we go?
Just remember that with anything, if your gut tells you and your instincts tell you to do something, just do it. And this is a really good practice that most people think. We think intuition's like this life-changing. It is, but this huge thing that's going to be like goals, dreams, but it can be something so simple as the other day I was doing a raindrop in this room. My cell phone was hooked to the Bluetooth. And right before I walked out of the room to have that client change, I thought, you should pick up your phone. And I was like, no, I'll just leave my phone there. I didn't pick up my phone, and the phone call I've been waiting for 2 weeks called me during that time. So it's like little simple, and I missed it. I missed it. So it's like, and that's the thing is like, you can make intuition this huge, beautiful thing, but to make it the strongest, and that's when you do the simple things, like you're cutting up things in the kitchen and you leave that one knife there and you want to go do something and your brain goes, why don't you put that in the sink? You ignore it. But if you were to put that in the sink, now you're going to charge your intuition. You have higher intuition. Like, even if they're those simple things, tie your shoes. I didn't tie my shoes the one time. My mind just tie your shoes. Stephanie, I actually tripped. I was pregnant. It scared the crap out of me. And I was like, if you would have just listened, so the little intuitive things strengthen the big intuitive things. If you can't trust those little voices, the big ones aren't going to come. Because you're also going to tell your body, you don't have space for the big stuff. You can't even handle picking up your shoes, So it's like, just put power and strength to the little baby steps just as much as the power and the strength to the big stuff.
Yes. Thank you very much, Stephanie. Where can we find you to follow more of your story?
I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok, and I'm on Facebook. Facebook is Stephanie Krebs. Instagram is Better Life Awakening. You could and then TikTok is the same. So.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I put on the thumbnail. I don't know if you saw it, but when I post the video, it will show your Instagram with so people can find you there. But if you have a link tree, you can just message it to me and I can put it when I post this video. I appreciate you so much.
Yeah, thank you for doing this. This is so good. I'm so proud of you. It was so nice to do this.
Well, we'll do it again then.
Sweetheart. Yeah, I'm always around.
Okay. All right.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye, Steph.